Hey, Nisha, we got one right here, baby.
Keys dropping for the 11 and the baddest to ever do it. Only positive vibes, you can feel it up in the music. My Uncle D got the jams that'll make a body get fluid. Yeah, to the H, we gon' all get screwed up. It is what it
is. All right, so welcome back. It is your boy D.
And it's your girl Nisha, baby.
And it is what it is podcast. We back for another season, man. Hey, look, 2021, we're here. And we're here to stay. And we have a wonderful guest. Well, actually, we closed out our season last year with you.
Really?
Yeah,
Yep,
we did.
We did.
Chivalry is Dead was the last one.
Oh, wow.
And
Yeah.
that episode was booming.
Right.
Good. Hope it changed some lives and got some people straight, right?
We hope.
And made love happen in the right way.
Yeah, that quarantine. That's all I can say. That quarantine. That was that quarantine.
That's another
love.
issue. You desperation. Yeah. Anyway.
But yeah,
that's another
before we get in, because the check cleared, so Dr. Dunn is here.
Amen. And I was on time.
And
Yeah.
So it cleared. We good. So she here. But before we get into everything, see what she's doing and everything, we're gonna get to our sponsors, Anisha.
Unspoken Phases Lashes, Unspoken Radio, Bruffle Waffles, Domino's, We Got Action, Tell Pop ENT, Pure Royalty, Royal Diva, Simon Says Bundles, Icon, and we can't forget Anchor.
Yes. We want to thank all our sponsors, and we, like I said, same sponsor from last year. Actually added some to it, and we're still adding some to the list. So if you want to be a sponsor, you know how to hit us up. It's easy. But we said this season will be about listener appreciation season. So basically, anything that y'all want us to talk about, we are going to talk about it. We're going to pick it out and say, hey, this is what we're gonna talk about this episode. So this episode is kind of interesting because we had someone hit us up about, hey, 2020 been a year, and it's been a crazy year.
Yep.
How do we get into the mindset of 2021 and leave 2020 in the past and move forward in business mindset, just in life in general? And I said, why not bring on a certified life coach to help us with this situation? And the only person I could think of was the Dr. Dunn.
Hey, everybody.
So before we get into this topic, tell us what you got going on. How you been able to get through 2020 as far as the quarantine and still being able to, be the Dr. Dunn?
I'm going to tell you, hi, everybody. This is your girl, Dawn Paul, a.k.a. The Dr. Don, certified life coach. The Dr. Don is my nickname. And my prescription is my words, as I always say. But how have I been dealing? Look, God is still moving virtually. It's just you're going to have to adapt. You can't be in person. They were like, hey, no more coming to the studio. So guess what? You better know how to work Zoom. You better know how to Skype. You better know how to do all these things to adapt. Right. But you got to keep it going. And that's just what it is. You're going to have to adapt. And you have no choice or you'll get left behind. But the world is not going to stay in this perfect place like you think it is. And COVID, yes, it was a year, but this is not it. It's going to be something else.
Right.
And everybody's talking about they think they know what it means. No. God has spoken to you personally, maybe what this time is, or he's spoken to your church corporately or your whatever. But truth be told, this is not it. So you're going to have to adapt. You better get with it and just understand things are not going to stay the same. But if you're standing, as long as I'm above ground, I'm good.
Gotcha.
I agree.
And that's how you got to, if you above ground, you can make it happen. You can still make things happen. Yeah.
So, with that being said, and I think you said it very, very, very well put. As far as, because I was talking to situations with someone else earlier today, and they said we look at it as leaving 2020 behind and moving into 2021. But why don't we look at it as a human race? Why don't we look at it why can't we just change on a day-to-day basis? Why we have to leave 2020 behind? Granted, we're putting years on it and dates on it, but why do we do that as a human race? Why can't we just say, hey, look, I'm gonna just wake up today from December 31st to January 1st and be a better person, or from, we'll say, January 4th to January 5th and be a better person? Why do we put dates on it?
It's just human nature. But part of it is we just want to forget what had happened. You know what I mean? We want to move on, but that's why some people still have not broken generational curses, because they want to act like it didn't happen. No, 2020 happened.
Yep.
Right? So hopefully you got some lessons out of it.
Right.
Because I had to gain some lessons from it that's taking me into a better place in 2021. But it's just human nature. We want to forget it. No, it happened. Don't act like it didn't happen. It happened. So what did you learn from it? If you learned absolutely nothing from it, I don't know anybody who didn't, but I'm just saying it's just human nature. But yes, it was a bad year. It was a challenging year. It was struggles, it was challenges, definitely. But if you're going into 2021, learn from those lessons, move forward. You can't forget what happened in 2020, but we can move forward. And that's what people just have to understand. That's just my opinion, and that's how I look at things.
Because for me, 2020, yes, it was a challenging year, but it was still some good things that happened.
Absolutely.
And people are not talking about that part of 2020. They're just talking about everything that happened that was bad. Oh, death. Oh, COVID. But some people still had a job.
Yes.
Some people still had a roof over their heads. People are still eating. People had, they gave out funding. There was a lot of good things that came from it. Yeah. So why just forget the whole 2020?
Well, I'm going to be honest with you, and this is what people better understand. Your family, they're alive and well, that's good, but you still have people dealing with the effects of what happened in 2020. So we can say, let's move forward, but you got people, mama's dead, and they still grieving. Right. Grandma's dead. Right. I know somebody right now, her and 2 family members got COVID.
Right.
And 2 of them are not doing well. That was in but they still battling. So let's not act like it doesn't exist. If everything is good in your life, God bless you. But let's show compassion. So let's not act like 2020 didn't happen, because people are still dealing with the effects. Businesses have been affected.
Right. A lot.
Right? So we're still dealing with the effects. It may not be you personally, but we have to show compassion, and we have to. We can't act like 2020 didn't happen, because you don't know what people are going through. They just haven't said it.
Right.
Some people are private. They don't put their problems on social media. But some people are in a very painful place, still dealing with what happened last year. So you can act like it doesn't exist, but people are still dealing with the effects. And we have to be realistic about it.
This is true.
Yeah.
So being realistic about these situations is something that you grow from.
Right. It should, hopefully. Yeah.
So from the ones that I see on, and once again, social media, I tell people this all the time. Social media is just social media. You can't really take a lot from social media.
Right.
Because people's lives are private.
Yeah.
They go through day-to-day crisis. But based off of certain things I've seen, certain people just haven't changed. Certain people just haven't learned. And they just, once again, they take life as it is. For those people that haven't taken it serious, or don't know how to take it serious, what would you have to say to them? Like, they don't know how to approach it. Maybe because they haven't been taught, or whatever might be the case, or they don't know how to grieve the right way, or take negative things and turn it into a positive. What would you say to those?
Well, what do you mean? Like, they look like everything's going well?
Right. But deep down, is not going well, but they don't want to express it, or can't express it.
Everybody, and I don't put all my personal business on social media. You know what I mean? I'm transparent with people to a point, but some people are not ready to be honest. But how do you know they're not going to a therapist? They could be going to a counselor. But people are keeping up a brand and an image for their business, and they don't want to be transparent, because it is painful. Everybody's not going to admit they lost their job. They still floss and looking like they're not ready. Everybody's not going to be transparent on social media like that. It took me time. When I first became a life coach, I was like, well, people expect me. Now I'm like, look, y'all. Right. The post I put up today, I was like, look, this, you know what I mean? Truthful Tuesday. Right. So everybody's not ready. So we don't know, they could be going to therapy, just not talking about it. But when they're ready to talk about it publicly, they'll talk about it. But like I tell people, the struggles you go through, you have to use the spirit of wisdom and discernment. God will tell you what to share, who to share it with, and how to share it. Okay? Sometimes I just need to go to my prayer warriors. Sometimes I'm going to share it at a conference. Sometimes I'll share it on a TV show but sometimes you need to have you and Jesus and a counselor. Yeah. You see what I'm saying? So maybe some people are not ready to publicly talk about it. So, and that could be it. So, and then if they're in denial and don't want to face it, then that's something else they're going to have to deal with. Gotcha. And they'll have to deal with it eventually. But yeah, we don't know what people are doing behind the scenes.
Gotcha.
Yeah. Well, she told us.
No, I didn't tell anything. Right? I mean, look, it is what it is, right?
Right.
You wearing the shirt.
It is what it is.
Right?
Yes.
Yeah, well, it's another thing that I've gotten asked about a lot with this whole quarantine. Texas is really not on quarantine for that's another whole topic.
Yeah.
But the dating life, a lot of people don't trust no more. A lot of people can't meet, you know what I'm saying, like they usually meet. And going into, I guess, 2020 to 2021, a lot of people are wondering, like, how do I trust again? Because people are doing one minute they'll say, oh yeah, it's all about you, but then at the same time they talking to Tom, Dick, and Harry over here. Because so how do they get back into the dating scene? If
what do you
anyway,
mean? Like COVID kept them from dating,
right?
From trusting?
Well, they kept them from being on the scene. Because you usually go out to the lounges and clubs
looking the same, like
stuff like that. But now they're not, because they're
okay.
Quote,
well, my
quote,
thing
quarantine.
is, why weren't you worried about HIV and AIDS? That was already that's been in effect before COVID, and you still, but anyway, that's another topic.
Them questions came to
and
inbox, y'all. Them questions didn't come to my inbox.
But I'm just saying, HIV, AIDS have been out there and still out there. Don't let COVID make you okay.
Right.
And I know an advocate who is very verbal and vocal about her living with the virus. And she says COVID has made people forget HIV is still out there.
Right.
So COVID is curable. HIV AIDS is not. I'm telling y'all, that's the least thing we need to worry about. Wear your mask, do all that, but use some common sense and wisdom and discernment. Come on, y'all. Use some wisdom and discernment here. COVID is the least.
When I got that.
But I hope I
presented,
answered the question. What was the exact question?
Basically, how to get back out in the dating.
Well, you get back out there and just make sure they have a COVID test.
They're just afraid.
Okay, so when they say get back out in the dating scene,
are they talking about the virus or
nothing has changed in Houston, especially in Houston. You can still go out. You can still go to different things.
Okay.
So are they talking about just actually going out because they can still do that, or are you talking about just on a sexual level? Because you're not just because I want to say this is on a sexual level.
I don't know if I don't think because she didn't bring up the whole sex part.
Okay.
But I think it's more on the I want to find love.
Go out.
Gotcha.
But I can't. But she's one of the ones that she's had people caught COVID. She's caught COVID.
Okay.
So she's
now
kind
we
of
get
scared.
It. Oh, gotcha.
To go out.
Okay.
That's what I meant. My bad.
Yeah, come on. See,
well, she didn't ask.
But see, this is our job to dig in because men and women communicate different. So we're talking about this sister. We got to answer her question.
Right.
So
now that makes it better.
Well, I can sit back and just listen to y'all now.
Yeah, you can. Okay, it is what it is with Tranisha and the Dr. Don. Okay, listen, and
cut my mic off.
But don't say that. It don't say but no, I would say she's letting fear keep her from moving forward. And you can't let fear keep you from moving forward. There are good men out there who don't have COVID. Now, what you don't do is on the first date kiss and make out and all this kind of stuff. That's just nonsense because you don't know what he has, and this virus is going to be around for a very long time. But just wear your mask. Go out like we're doing, right? Wear your mask, get to know him, and maybe this could be a blessing in disguise because you don't need to be jumping in something anyway. Maybe you'll get to know people as a person instead of jumping into the physical. Right? Where there's no substance with just that in the relationship. So use this as a time to really have a conversation and get to know people and communicate. Hey. But that's a good question. But she can't let fear overtake her, but she's got to start taking small steps. That's what I would encourage her. And don't be desperate, though. I don't want her to get online and start dating out of desperation. because who knows what they got on the computer, who you talking to. But just get out there, use common sense, wear your mask, don't rush into anything, and take this time to really communicate with the prospective bae, right?
Right. I would say, like Dr. Don said, just like the medical personnel, they can tell us that they scared too.
Yeah.
What if they told us that they were scared? What if they told us, "Oh, I'm not coming in here"? Then what we gonna do?
Yeah.
My mom and aunt is one of their front line. So if they say I don't want to do this, then what y'all gonna do?
Yeah.
So you cannot be afraid to go out there because these people are risking their lives. So you telling me because you don't want to date, you're scared of dating, but these people are risking their lives. Put your mask on.
Yeah.
Continue to be clean. Wash your hands. Sanitize your hands. That's all it is. Stay clean.
Yeah.
That's really all COVID is being clean.
But I would tell her if it is keeping her from moving forward, the fear. But I understand her anxiety because if she has had family members affected, that is absolutely understandable. But she needs to just start going out because I don't even go everywhere. Okay,
Right.
I'm like, okay, I'm wearing my mask.
Right.
I'll do this. Some shows they're like, well, I don't want you wearing a mask because it doesn't look good. Okay, see you later. You know what I mean?
Right.
I don't care about how things look. I'm into because I don't know what's going on with y'all. You know, when I see a studio full of people and nobody's got a mask on, and I don't judge people for not wearing masks. That's not what I'm saying. It's for me and mine. I'm gonna wear mine, and if you don't want me to wear it, but I have to make the choice. So she's gonna have to make the choice of where she goes. Spirit of wisdom and discernment. But if she sees it's keeping her from moving forward, therapy, counseling. Life coaching, there's nothing wrong with that, but she can't let fear overtake her forever. But I understand, sister, where
and
you're
they
coming
have
from.
hotlines. If
Yes.
she don't want to go out and be physical
Yes.
with the person, they have hotlines where she can call and talk about those
Yes,
things.
there
'Cause
are
it really is a fear. People have anxiety about it.
Yes.
So yeah.
And she can do Zoom dates. You meet a brother, I'm not comfortable going out tonight with COVID. The spike it's an increase. Let's do a Zoom date.
This is
Nothing
the time
wrong
to
with that.
get creative with dating.
Yes.
COVID, like, it should brought out the hustle in a person. It
Yes.
should bring out anything mentally in you, meaning dates, hustle, grind, all of that.
Yeah, I was
So
gonna ask that, like, has it? Well, first of all, I was gonna ask, with all this going on, I won't say your clientele. I don't want to say clientele or anything like that, but have you gotten a lot more people coming to you, dealing with the pressures in life and things like that now more so than ever?
Well, I think everybody in the healing profession is dealing with an increase, but is it like millions of people knocking on my door? No. It's pretty much, but I still do get that, people want referrals for therapists, counselors, because some people are dealing with grief, right? So I'm a life coach. I help support people in their goals, but I find that it's been more people with deep-rooted issues, like the grief, has really just hit them because last year has been really tough. So I was really referring to therapists, counselors, and then dealing with, doing what I do on a regular. But yeah, it has been an increase. But it's just, you've got to get the mental health. The mental health help and
you feel like that's the number one goal before anything else, the mental health? Is
well,
that where it starts?
It depends on where you're at.
Okay.
If you're good, then you're good. But if you cannot move forward, if this has hit you, because look, all these people talking about you should be starting 50 businesses, Right. Some people, if you get out of bed every day with what you're dealing with, I applaud you. I didn't start no new. I got the same 2 businesses. I didn't go starting another 50. I'm doing God told me to focus what's on right in front of you and build that. And that's what I'm focused on. Some people, like I said, they lost family members. If you can get out of bed, I applaud you. Business was not on your agenda. Waking up every day, going to work was your agenda. You see what I'm saying? Taking care of your kids, making sure your kids ain't getting the virus. So whatever your personal life is, just stop comparing yourself, because these other people are telling you they're prospering. I'm glad you are. But good for you, if that's even the truth. But if you can wake up every day with what the nightmare, the hell you may have dealt with, I applaud you, and you are successful. If you haven't taken your life, if you're still here on earth, I applaud you. Get therapy, counseling. I will be glad to refer you. So you gotta look at, it's not always money. What is your mental health?
And you use the word success. I was asked what is success, and my answer was success is never ending. It can be anything.
That's
Success
right.
does not always mean monetary.
Right.
It can mean you are successful spiritually. You can be successful mentally, meaning that you have overcome something.
Yes.
You can be successful with just being a parent and breaking milestones with being a parent.
Yes.
Success is never ending.
And it's what it is to you.
Yes.
It's
that's what it
subject. It's personal for everyone. Everybody in this room, we can give you a different definition of what success is.
Mm-hmm.
The fact that you ain't caught COVID is a success.
Right.
Right. I mean, let's be honest.
Right.
If your business is still standing,
Right.
if you're not homeless right now, if you hadn't had to move in with your parents, some people are dealing and battling.
Mm-hmm.
You are successful. I'm successful because I'm still being asked to do what I
Right.
do. Now, I have been asked more to speak more in it because all this stuff is going on. So I'm going to do it.
Right.
That's a success. When somebody here hopefully is going to say, dang, let me get inspired. Let me get up and keep moving by what we're saying. If we're living in purpose, it's a success.
Right.
That's what it is for me.
Well, I mean, you answered all the questions I had, but I know Nisha had told people that I was going to tell everybody about my journey with COVID. And by the way, also guys, we're doing a whole new format. We're not doing 45 to an hour. We're doing 30 minutes. So we know y'all have busy lives.
Oh, has this been 30?
No, it's only.
It's only
Okay.
been about 20.
Really?
It's only been
It
about
seems longer than that.
It's only been about 20. But,
Okay.
we're going to do like 30-minute episodes so everybody has a busy life. We know that we want to keep y'all interested
That
and
makes
stuthis
sense.
We want to
So-
get the knowledge out
Right.
there. You know, this is a
Yeah.
Let's get
fast-paced
on
world.
with it. Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
So, I would tell everybody what I went through. It was a tough time. I can't even lie. But basically, what happened was I went to work. On a Wednesday, I had a banging headache. Like the headache was just outrageous, and I took medicine while I was there. Couldn't get rid of it. Couldn't shake it. Thursday, all day Wednesday, all night Thursday. And I was like, you know what? I'm off Friday, so I'm going to go ahead and go home, get some medicine, get some juice, some stuff like that, lay it down. Hopefully everything goes. Mind you, this is at the middle of March, so that's when everything was first shutting down and things like that. So I went to sleep, woke up, went to sleep around like 8 o'clock when I got home, woke up around like 9:30 that night. And I woke up I was sweating. My body had felt like I was in a heavyweight fight. Like it was flu symptoms to the 10th power. So I'm like, man, what is going on, man? Like this is not right. So I took a warm shower, felt a little bit better, went back to sleep. I couldn't really go to sleep. I couldn't move. Every time I moved, it was hurting. So around 2 o'clock, I was like, man, I can't do this. So I went to the ER. Went to urgent care. Went to urgent care, told them, hey, look, I don't know what this is. It might be COVID. I don't know. Hopefully it's not. But they took me back there. They tested me for the strep throat first, and then they tested me for the flu. Both of those came back negative. The lady was like, look, everything that I'm seeing, you pretty much got COVID, but we're going to test you. At that time, that's when the test was like backed up for 10 days and all this other stuff. So she was like, we're going to test it and we're going to send it off to California, and then we'll get you, we'll call you for your results, but please stay isolated. At that time, I work at a hospital.
Yeah.
So I had been around people. So the only way I knew how to let everybody know, which looking back on it, probably shouldn't have did it this way. I did it through Instagram. Just to let people know that I follow, hey, if you've been around me, you might want to get tested. I just got tested. And then told my boss, she took the measures that need to be taken, and I quarantined. So that was on a Friday. Sunday, I had broke my fever, so I was feeling a little bit better. But I was still in the house. Everything was straight. I was just, good. I was getting back to normal. And then Monday night, that's when I got the phone call that I had got tested positive for COVID. And then that's when I had let everybody know. And then a friend at Fox 26 had called me and was like, hey man, we seen the story, we seen what's going on. And I took it to my producers, hey, they want to do such.
How did I not see that?
I don't know. I was actually on the news. I don't know. And you a friend of Fox 26. You.
How did I miss that segment?
I don't know how you missed that, but I was on the 6 o'clock segment and on the 10 o'clock. But
wow.
Yeah. So we did it via Zoom. They asked me all the questions, and I just told them, hey, look. I didn't have all the symptoms that everybody else had. At that time, everybody had the cough, and I didn't have no cough.
They were losing their taste.
Yeah, I didn't have no loss of taste.
And all that,
I didn't have none of that. All I had was intense flu-like symptoms. That's what I had, and it was bad. So after I had broke all that, and I was on the news and told them that everything was, I feel good now. Maybe 2 days later, that's when I couldn't breathe. I was like doing stuff and I was getting bored. So I was doing stuff in my room and trying to like straighten stuff up and all this other stuff. And I was still in contact with my nurses at work. And I didn't know nothing about pneumonia.
Yeah.
And so I was like really, really just like out of there. I couldn't breathe. I couldn't do nothing. They was like, man, you need to go to the ER. You might got pneumonia.
Yeah.
I said, pneumonia? What is that? Went there. I was like, okay, cool. Maybe I can just get a breathing treatment, go home. They said no.
Yeah.
They admitted me. I stayed there for maybe like almost a week.
Wow.
A little bit over a week. And that's that part out of everything.
Yeah.
Was the scariest because when I got in there, I didn't realize I hadn't used the restroom in like 3 days.
Oh my gosh.
And so when they came back and realized, it was like, oh, your kidneys are starting to shut down. So then they started treating me for that. And then that was freaking me out. But the scariest part with everything, I was in there by myself.
Wow.
And you couldn't have no visitors.
Yeah.
You couldn't do nothing. So it was hard for you to sleep because I already couldn't breathe.
Yeah.
So it was like, that's the scariest part about everything is because you don't have nobody else to be there with you.
Yeah.
Now, granted, I had a friend at the time, you know what I'm saying? We were keeping it because she was in the hospital with COVID, dealing with COVID too. So we was like trying to, you go to sleep and I'll watch out, and then I'll go to sleep and you watch. So we was helping each other at that time. But at the end of the day, that's why I take a lot of people. I'm not one of the ones to be like, get away from me, such. But I take COVID so seriously.
Oh yeah, me too.
Because the day I got out the hospital, I lost one of my friends, one of my close friends from New Orleans. He died from COVID.
Yes.
I was literally walking out the hospital when I got the phone call. And I just kind of like dropped.
Yeah.
Because I'm like, man, we both went in here, but I'm walking out and you're not. It's not fair.
Man. Yeah.
So, and then that month, it was just crazy because 2 days later, I lost my... Matter of fact,
you had your cousin or friend
my niece,
died, right? Niece, yeah.
When we had recorded the last show, Chivalry Dead, I had got the phone call right before the show. She had passed away giving birth.
You told her.
And that was the week before. We had the funeral. The next day, so it was just a whole. Then earlier that I lost a friend from a murder. Somebody murdered him. It was just a lot of stuff. So it was tough. Like I said, I deal with COVID in a different way. I was one of the first ones to get it at my hospital. So I look at it in a different way. I look at it as it's serious, and I look at it as people are going to look at this as we do the flu now. Like, it's just the flu.
And be laxed. Yeah.
Right, lax. Okay, we got the vaccine. Go get the vaccine. Blah, blah, blah.
If you can get it, because now they're not even booked. They're booked for January. They said, I heard that on the radio.
And the crazy thing about us, since I work at the hospital, they let us, like, we got steady supply coming in.
Well, no, y'all should. Yeah,
right.
I mean,
which is
the first
understandable.
People,
right.
Yeah,
but for the general public,
the main people who are gonna get first dibs are gonna be medical personnel and 65 and older.
Right.
Those are the two that's like
the EMT and like.
But see, let's go back and talk about that, because and this is the thing. COVID was just something extra on top of what people have already been dealing with.
It's going to bring out the underlying
So
things.
you were already dealing with grief and then COVID, right? So somebody out there is like, okay, how did he get through this? Because I don't know how. How did you get through it? Did you do therapy, counseling, prayer? What was it?
I got friends.
Yeah. Okay.
I will say that as much as people think me and Nisha don't like each other and can't stand each other, we love each other to death.
Right.
So we're always there for each other no matter what. So Nisha was a big help. Like I said, the friend that was in the hospital, she was a big help at the time.
Okay.
My mom was a big help, even though she wasn't, because she was so concerned about me.
Yeah.
And then my dad at the same time, like I said, I had friends. I also had like a friend named Isani. She was there. It was a lot of people that were texting me, making sure that I was okay.
But you had to let people know you weren't okay.
Right.
See, because people don't know, especially when you're single and when you live by yourself. That's why we do have to tell people I'm struggling. Because if you did this alone, oh my God.
Even you, Dr. Dunn, you had text me while I was in the hospital.
See, I didn't know. Though you were in the hospital.
Right. You didn't know.
Did I? Oh,
no,
yeah.
you did.
Oh, okay.
You did know. But the thing about, even when I got out, a couple of weeks afterwards, you still checked on me. So it was text messages. It was like, man, you're going to be all right. It is what it is, you know what I'm saying? Do you need anything? People were always just like offering. And like I said, it was at the beginning. So everybody really didn't know what was going on.
Gotcha.
And once you hear COVID, you think, okay, death.
Right.
Yeah.
At the beginning. That's what you automatically thought. So that's why a lot of people, that's how I got through it. It was just a lot of friends and family just kept on checking on me.
Yeah.
And I just felt like after that, a lot of people were asking me, hey, what's your symptoms? How did you get through this? What did you have that? Did you have this? What should you do? And I tell people this. I told my dad this the other day. I said, look, the only thing that you really need to put in your body is a whole bunch of hot stuff. Like just hot, just like chicken broth, whatever you need to do. Put that in your body because it kills the virus. A lot of people don't know that. And it's a sensitive subject to certain people because I know a lot of people have died, lost people, loved ones because of this. I would say this: if they ask you to get put on a ventilator, I would not recommend it because you're not breathing for yourself no more. That machine is doing all the work for you. So you're not doing anything. They think that helps you. That's not really helping you.
Okay, so are you saying it's kind of like you have to kind of fight for your life?
Pretty much.
Because if you don't, gotcha.
Yeah. You just basically letting the virus take over your body.
Right.
Because you're not doing anything.
You're not doing anything.
Wow.
So that's why I always, whenever I tell people, because my niece has it right now, I just been telling her, hey, just put nothing but just hot stuff in your body. Just put hot stuff in your body. And it'll eventually kill it off. I mean,
is that so? What is the treatment? Like, if there's no,
at that time they didn't have.
So
it.
what do they do? Just pump you full of antibiotics or what?
No, they just basically treat him like the flu.
Basically when I broke the fever, that's when all the COVID left. That's when the pneumonia came in.
Oh Lord.
So that was then they know how to treat pneumonia, but at the time they didn't. Once I broke the fever, I just broke the fever.
Thank God you're here.
Yeah.
Question.
Yeah.
Because Dr. Don brought it up. As a single man who lives alone, I know you said you had friends and family, but what advice mentally would you give people who are dealing with this, who do not have that support system like you did?
Amen.
Like, you were in the hospital by yourself. I know it's times that we couldn't be on the phone with you or all of that. So when you were by yourself, what helped you mentally to get through that?
I would say definitely number one thing was prayer.
Amen.
That's the number one thing. It gives you a sense of peace. And you just gotta fight. If this is one thing I would tell you, you will learn a lot about yourself going through it. If you can fight for yourself and not for anybody else, if you fight for yourself, then you gain a lot. You gain a lot about yourself. You gain a lot of knowledge about yourself. So I would say definitely prayer first, and then after that you just be like, look, either I'm a fight this and conquer it, or I'm gonna just
let it take over.
Let it take over. But you gotta have that mentality because you can't be around nobody else.
Right.
You're gonna have anxiety. You're gonna have all that stuff. But how are you gonna conquer that? That's what you need to go. That should be the first thing come in your mind because you're not gonna be around nobody else. You're just not gonna happen. You can't have that person to hold you and like hug you and be like it's gonna be all right. No, I gotta do this for myself. So that's why it's like 2020, like I'm saying, we're about to wrap up, but 2020 is one of them things where it's like, if you didn't learn about yourself, I don't know what you've been doing.
Did it make you think about, gosh, if I got married? if I had a wife. Because some people are like, gosh,
So
it does make,
So I don't have any kids, right?
Yeah.
So the one thing that a lot of women have asked me, hey, do you want kids? But I said, I don't want to bring nobody in this world. I don't see myself bringing another body, living being in this world.
That's what you say now.
At this point, I can't see it.
And that's what I say.
Because of everything that has went on.
And that's understandable.
Because I said the same thing until it happened.
Yeah.
But when you get it, it's like...
But when you find love and you realize, you know what? Again, people, adapting. You know the society we live in.
Yeah.
You can't let your child walk down the street to the grocery store anymore.
Right.
So, I mean, we say that, but again, let's go back to you can't let fear keep you from making little it is what it is right? What would the world be without a few little D's? I mean, come on.
Jesus.
All I'm doing is sending them over to Nisha house. That's all I'm going to do.
And I got to deal with that.
Yeah. But thank God, brother. I mean, I'm serious. He said, I got to fight because Dr. Don, I can't have nobody co-hosted. He said, I got to come, Nisha, No, you got to have something to fight for, though.
Right.
Yeah, I was on his neck, Dr. Don.
I'm sure.
Oh, baby, I wasn't playing with him. He was all right.
You are gonna live.
You should have texted me then.
You're gonna make it.
But no, we like you said, we rank on each other daily. But during that time,
yes,
to see him fight for himself and to see the strength that he came out with, it was so amazing to see. Because I've seen D at top, low, but this was like something that was really this was real. Amen. This was real life. So it's like, okay, to see my brother fight through that, we can get through anything.
You can get through anything.
We can get through anything.
And you're here for a reason. Some people didn't make it.
Right.
Who are younger than you.
Right.
People died from their 20s from COVID.
Right.
True.
Underlying conditions.
And we had, like he said, one of our close friends. Literally, he walked out. I'm texting him.
Wow.
Our friend passed. So that was a hard hit for us and a hard hit for him too. But we got through that too.
Yeah.
So
you're
I'm
here
like,
for
we got
reason.
it.
Yeah.
Let him use you. That's what I say.
Thank you.
Thank you. That was the way to end. Right? Testimony Tuesday.
Right.
I don't know what that
Truth Tuesday.
Truthful Tuesday. That's ain't no
Hey, man, look, we are so excited. We are so excited about this season. Like I said, keep on emailing us, text messaging us about what y'all want us to talk this season. We just shot our video for our upcoming song. Y'all can get that on Apple, Spotify, all that stuff. My bad. I'm old school. I ain't used to all this, you know what I'm saying? Give me an album, a CD, put it in a CD player, we done. But anywho,
we got some good things coming, y'all.
Yes.
We got a dance coming out for y'all.
Yeah, we got a challenge. You know what I'm saying? We giving prizes away this season.
Good.
It's all about y'all this season. So we giving prizes away and all that other stuff. And I know we already know what the next topic is going to be about, but once again, keep sending them in.
What is it?
The next one is...
Can you not share it? Or is it a surprise?
We can.
Oh, okay.
It's a Q&A with me and Nisha. A lot of people want to know where we began, how we started.
Oh, that's dope.
And
that's
everything.
Good.
So we are going to get interviewed on our own show.
So y'all going to interview each other?
No, someone is going to interview us.
Oh, okay.
So basically, they're taking over our show.
Who?
So
it's a surprise?
Tatiana.
Who is that?
Her best friend.
She's from Unspoken Radio. So
cool.
Yeah.
So she knows about both of us.
That's good.
Yeah. So it's gonna get real candid, guys. That might be a little bit longer than 30.
Yeah, that one's gonna be longer than 30.
That one gonna be a little candid.
That's
but
dope.
Anywho, I want to appreciate our guest, our special guest, the Dr. Dunn. Tell them how they can reach you.
Hey, you can reach me. Follow me on social media. It's all the same. THEDRDAWN. You follow me, I'll follow you back.
She will.
And I show you love.
Yes.
Can you do your intro again? I love when she do her intro.
Oh.
It's the Dr. Don.
Okay. Hey, everybody. I'm going to say bye-bye. Happy New Year and peace and blessings. But this is Don Paul, a.k.a. the Dr. Don, your certified life coach. And my prescription is my words. And I just pray my words bless you. God bless you. Thank you for listening.
And we out.
And we done. I love when she